Dear students, in this session we are going to discuss about direct sequence spread spectrum, that is DSSS. So, in the case of direct sequence spread spectrum, the information signal directly modulates a pseudo noise sequence. That is why it is getting the name direct sequence. And the name spread spectrum implies that actually the modulated signal occupies the bandwidth that will be in excess of the minimum bandwidth necessary to send the data. That means actually we are modulating the binary sequence. We are modulating this PN sequence with this binary sequence, and the spectrum that the modulated signal occupying will be, its bandwidth will be greater than the minimum bandwidth necessary to send the data. So that means there is a spreading of the spectrum. So that is called the direct sequence spread spectrum. Okay, let us see. This is the block diagram. So there is here in this block diagram transmitter, receiver and channel is shown together. First of all, here the binary data sequence is represented as B of t, and there is a pseudo noise code generator. Actually you know about the PN code generator, and this PN code is generated by shift registers, and also there will be a parity generator. Together they produce a PN code generator. Also there will be a clock signal that is given to each of the shift register. We have studied about the PN code generator. Okay, and in this case both the binary sequence B of t and this PN code generator sequence, that is PN sequence, is represented by the polar, that is bipolar non-return to zero format. That means for there will be two bit formats, that is 1 and 0. For 1 positive pulse is using, for 0 negative pulse is using. That is 1 is represented by positive voltage and 0 is represented by the negative voltage. So the same representation or same encoding scheme is used both for the binary sequence B of t and PN sequence. Okay, actually this binary sequence modulate this PN code sequence, and for that we are using a product modulator. Okay, and here we are using a product modulator that is represented by this cross symbol. Then the output of this modulator is S of t. Okay, then that modulated signal is transmitted through this channel, where in the channel noise is introduced, and actually here the noise is represented by the interference signal I of t. So this I of t is added to this S of t. As a result, we will receive another signal X of t that will have S of t component and I of t component. Okay, let us say the details. Input to binary sequence B of t, which is a non-return to zero polar format. Okay, non-return to zero means it will not go to zero. Actually for 1 positive pulse is using, for 0 negative pulse is using. That means the sequence will not return to 0. And the bit period of this B of t, or each of the bit period, is equal to TB. That is the bit duration, and the corresponding bit rate will be 1 by TB, that will be represented by RB. And C of t is a PN sequence, that is a wideband code sequence, and it has noise like properties, so it is called a spreading sequence. Actually whenever this B of t is multiplied with the C of t, the resulting modulated signal will have a bandwidth higher than the original bandwidth required. So that is why this sequence is called a spreading sequence. And it is also represented by the non-return to zero polar format. That means this PN sequence also will have a positive and negative pulses. There is no zero levels. Okay, this period of C of t will be TC. Okay, so here we are choosing here the period of this PN sequence will be very less than comparing to the message sequence, that is TC very less than TB. That means RC very greater than TB, because RC equal to 1 by TC and RB equal to 1 by TB. Therefore we can write from this relation that RC very greater than RB. That means whenever a pulse of this is coming, whenever a pulse of message signal is coming, there will be more than one pulses of PN sequence. Okay, that means its frequency is higher comparing to the original message sequence. Let us examine the power spectral density of the message signal and the PN sequence, or this C of t. Okay, this is B of t. Corresponding to B of t, the power spectral density is SB of f, and corresponding to C of t, the power spectral density of SC of f. You know that TB is very greater than TC, so corresponding frequency will be lesser. So 1 by TB will be lesser comparing to 1 by TC. Okay, so here its power spectral density ranges between minus 1 by TB to 1 by TB, and it will be assumes this form. Okay, similarly for the case of the PN sequence or C of t, the power spectral density will have a larger range comparing to this one, that is minus 1 by Tc and 1 by Tc. So since it has a larger range, its amplitude will be lesser comparing to the power spectral density of B of t. Okay, so this spread sequence will have a power spectral density, power will be lesser comparing to this message sequence. Okay, so we can write the power of this message signal P of B will be equal to integral minus 1 by TB to 1 by TB SB of f into df. Since this message signal is a square pulse, that means it will be having positive pulse, negative one, positive one and negative one. The complete, if we are integrating it over minus 1 by TB to plus 1 by TB, total power will be 1. Similarly, in the case of this PN sequence also, the total power of this PN sequence will be obtained by integrating over the limit minus 1 by Tc to plus 1 by Tc, that is equal to integral minus 1 by Tc to 1 by Tc Sc of f into df. So total power is obtained by integrating the power spectral density. See, it is also having the bipolar non-return to zero format, and it will be having amplitudes plus 1 in between plus 1 and minus 1. So the total power will be 1. And here 1 by Tc is very greater than 1 by Tb. Here you can see here that from this condition 1 by Tc is very greater than 1 by Tb. That means the magnitude of Sc of f is much smaller compared to Sb of f. You can see it from this figure. So the magnitude will be lesser for this PN sequence. So the transmitted signal S of t is the product of B of t and C of t. From this block diagram, the transmitted signal S of t is the product of B of t and C of t. Then the transmitted signal is given by S of t is equal to B of t into C of t. And similarly, its frequency domain representation is S of f equal to B of f into C. S of f equal to B of f into C of f. And here you know that the input binary sequence is B of t is narrow band, C of t is wide band. So S of t also will be wide band sequence. That means the product modulator will give a sequence, and whose frequency or bandwidth is spreaded. That means C of t is a spread signal. For PN sequence, C of t is wide band and B of t is narrow band. The bandwidth of the spectrum S of f is nearly equal to C of f. So PN sequence performs the role of a spreading code. Okay, that is why it is getting the name direct sequence spread spectrum. Let us analyze this one. That means here we are receiving the signal x of t. From this block diagram, you know that we are receiving the signal x of t, right? Let us mathematically analyze. The receiver demodulates it into original message sequence. So let us see. We have received x of t. What is x of t? X of t will be equal to S of t, that is transmitted signal plus interference signal from the channel, that is I of t. We know that what is S of t? S of t is equal to B of t into C of t. You know that. Okay. Before that, let us see this detector. At the demodulation side, first what we are doing is we will be modulating this received signal with the locally generated PN sequence. Actually, this PN sequence will be the exact form of this PN sequence generated. Okay. Okay, so this x of t will be modulating this locally generated PN sequence. So we will be getting y of t. So what is y of t? Y of t equal to x of t into C of t. We can write that equation. Okay, see here it is written that y of t equal to x of t into C of t. So what is y of t then? X of t, we have written the equation is S of t plus I of t. So we can substitute for x of t here that S of t plus I of t into C of t. So y of t will be equal to instead of s of t, what we can write by s of t is obtained by the product of b of t and c of t. So it is written here plus I of t into c of t. If we are multiplying into bracket, so it will be equal to b of t into c square of t plus I of t into c of t. And here there is a term c square of t. Actually, what is c of t? C of t is a Pn sequence and its amplitude is plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1. So what will be c square of t? It is always plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So its value will be 1, right? C of t into c of t. Actually, this is a square waveform having magnitude plus 1 and minus 1. So when we are multiplying the replica of c of t with itself, so it will be getting, we will be obtaining 1 everywhere, okay, 1, 1, 1, okay. So c square of t is equal to 1. So therefore we can write y of t equal to b of t plus I of t into c of t. Actually, this y of t is obtained at the demodulator side, that is y of t. So it will contains the original message sequence b of t plus I of t into c of t. So you can clearly see that actually b of t was spread by the Pn sequence at the transmitter side. Now b of t is despread by, now y of t is despread by the same Pn sequence, okay. Now the spectrum of S, so now we can say that the spectrum of y of t is despread by the sequence, despread by the Pn sequence. See, this is the block diagram. Here you can see that at the demodulator side, here you obtained y of t, and the y of t will be having the component b of t plus I of t into c of t. So we at the demodulator side we will obtain y of t equal to b of t. That means original binary sequence will be retrieved at the demodulator side, okay. So we can say that this Pn sequence at the receiver side despread the received signal, okay. So we will obtain the original binary sequence p of t. So let us see the explanation. Now the spectrum of S of t is widespread, resulting in the spectrum of b of t. Sorry, despread, this is not widespread, that is despread, resulting in the spectrum of b of t. And spectrum of I of t spread, you can see here that you can see I of t is multiplied with the c of t. That is actually whenever in this block diagram, whenever a sequence is multiplied with the Pn code, that is c of t, that's its spectrum will be spreaded, okay, because Pn sequence spectrum is widespread, okay. So here you can see that I of t is multiplied with the c of t. So we can say that interference signal spectrum will be widespread due to this Pn sequence, but this sequence will be despread, okay. After that, whenever we are obtaining the y of t, that output signal will be, see, that output signal will be applying to the integrator side, that you can see in the block diagram, okay. You can see it in the block diagram. Listen to the block diagram. I of t is after this despread, this signal will be applied to the integrator. You can see the integrator. After the integrator, you can see a sample which samples at a period t equal to tb. Then a decision is made with respect to VTH. So remember these blocks and let us go to the explanation side. See, y of t is then applied to the integrator. Actually, integrator integrates the input sequences. So here y of t is in the form of a positive and a negative pulse, because y of t will have the equation b of t plus I of t into c of t. All these signals will be square signals. So whenever we are giving a square pulse to square signal to square waveform to integrator, it will integrate into triangular waveform that you might have studied in the lower semester, okay. So integrator converts this square wave into triangular wave. So for every TB second, that is TB second is the duration of the original message signal. So for every TB second, the integrator output is positive ramp, and for b of t equal to plus 1, and it will be negative ramp for b of t equal to minus 1, because you know that integrator will convert the square wave into triangular waveform. So triangular waveform will have a increasing ramp waveform and a decreasing ramp waveform. Again increasing ramp waveform and a decreasing ramp waveform. So you can say that for every TB second, integrator output is a positive ramp, that is an increasing ramp for b of t equal to plus 1. That is corresponding to b of t is equal to plus 1, that is positive signal. The output of the integrator will be positive ramp. corresponding to the negative input, that is b of t, whenever b of t equal to -1, that is a negative pulse, negative square pulse, then correspondingly integrator output will be decreasing ramp or negative ramp. So that is the integrator output, that is altogether it will be a triangular waveform. So the integrator output, here we discussed about the integrator output corresponding to b of t, but there is another part for y of t, that is I of t into c of t. So what will happen to this section whenever it is applying to the integrator, you can see here that it is multiplied with c of t, since its magnitude will be very low. So I of t into c of t when applied to the integrator, then integrator output will be very small. So we can neglect that component, because whenever I of t is multiplied with c of t, its bandwidth is increased, but its amplitude will be small. That is why it can be neglected at the integrator output. So integrator output we can now represent as I of t, that is L of t, that is a representation L of t. So then that L of t is applied to a sampler, and that samples the output at every TB second, that you can see in the block diagram. So whenever L of TB is compared, L of TB is obtained at the sampler output. See, whenever L of T is sampled with the sampler, the output will be L of TB. So that L of TB is given to a threshold comparator. So it will be compared with the threshold voltage VTH equal to 0. Whenever this L of TB is greater than this VTH, then the data detected will be 1. And if L of TB is less than this VTH, that is L of TB is less than 0, then the data detected will be 0. You can see here in the block diagram, you can explain it. Okay, here y of t is obtained, it is given to the integrator. B of t section will produce a triangular waveform, and I of t into C of t section will be neglected, and corresponding output is L of t, that is sampled with a sampler of having time period TB or having duration TB. So you will be getting L of TB. That L of TB is compared with this VTH, where VTH is set to 0. Whenever L of TB is greater than 0, then output waveform, detected waveform will be positive 1. That means a plus symbol will be detected. And if it will be less than VTH or less than 0, then the output symbol will be negative voltage, okay, or negative pulse. So this is the way we are detecting the signal in the direct sequence spread spectrum. Okay, so here we are modulating the signal with the PN sequence. At the demodulator side, we are again multiplying it with the same PN sequence. Okay, so at the modulator, at the transmitter side, spreading of the sequence taking place, and the receiver side, despreading taking place. Okay, that's all about this direct sequence spread spectrum system. Okay, thank you.